My wife slept with a coworker, then falsely accused me of abuse to steal custody of our kids. She fabricated stories, smeared me everywhere. When society spat her out like trash, she came back, bruised and sobbing at my door. I just looked and locked the door. My name is Ethan Walker, 38 years old, and I live in Seattle, where the rain falls like a confession, unpredictable, relentless, soaking you to the bone before you realize you're drenched. The city's fog wraps around you at night, blurring streetlights into ghosts, and the air carries a chill that seeps into your thoughts. I'm a flight control engineer, crafting systems that keep planes steady in storms for a civilian aviation tech company. My life, I once believed, was a clear runway, a cozy home with cedar walls, 2 sons who lit up my world, a wife whose laughter used to feel like sunlight, and a job that paid for our dreams. But life doesn't collapse with a roar. It frays, thread by thread, in the quiet moments you don't see coming. One day, you wake up, and the ground beneath you is gone. Chloe, my wife, is 36. We've been married for 13 years, a stretch of time that feels both endless and fleeting, like a book you've read but can't recall the ending. She used to teach high school literature, her voice soft as she recited Frost or Dickinson to her students, her eyes glowing with the kind of passion that made you believe in poetry. She'd bring home dog-eared novels, reading passages aloud at dinner, her fingers tracing the words as if they were fragile relics. But 3 years ago, she left teaching for a communications role at a women's rights organization, a move she called her calling. I supported her, proud of her fire. I didn't know it would burn our life to ash. We have 2 boys, Miles, 10, with a mind like a circuit board, always piecing together Lego sets or sketching rocket designs, his chatter about Mars colonies brighter than any star. Noah, 8, is quieter, his heart an open page, always climbing into my lap for stories, his small hands clutching my shirt like I'm his anchor. They're the gravity that keeps me grounded, the reason I wake up when the world feels too heavy. I try to hold our life together. Every morning, I'd pack their lunches, peanut butter for Miles, no crust for Noah, drive them to school through Seattle's drizzle, and wave as they ran to their classrooms. Weekends, we'd build forts in the park, their laughter echoing through the pines. But it was a performance, a fragile set I built to shield them from the truth. Their parents' marriage was rotting behind the scenes, a house with cracked beams waiting to fall. Chloe still smiled when Miles showed her his latest spaceship model or when Noah handed her a crayon drawing of our family, stick figures under a too big sun. But her warmth stopped at me. She'd flinch when I reached for her hand, her eyes darting away like I was a stranger. She'd silence her phone when I walked into the room, her fingers quick to lock the screen. At night, when I tried to pull her close, she'd murmur, "I'm tired," her voice a wall I couldn't climb. The distance grew, not in miles, but in the silences that filled our home, thick as the fog outside. One night in late November, the rain tapping the windows like a restless ghost, I heard Noah sobbing in his room. I found him curled under his astronaut blanket, his face wet with tears. "Dad," he whispered, "why doesn't Mom read to me anymore?" My throat tightened. Chloe used to be their storyteller, her voice weaving Harry Potter or Charlotte's Web into magic, her hands tucking them in with a softness I envied. Now, she'd come home late, her heels clicking past their rooms, shower, and slide into bed, her back a cold curve against me. I sat on Noah's bed, the mattress creaking under my weight. "Mom's just busy, buddy," I lied, hating the words as they left my mouth. "But I'll read to you, okay?" He nodded, but his eyes, big, searching, like Chloe's used to be, held a grief too heavy for an 8-year-old. I read The Little Prince until his breathing slowed, but my heart pounded with a truth I couldn't name. Then came the night she didn't come home. No call, no text, no warning. I sat in the living room, the clock ticking past midnight, the rain louder than my thoughts. When she finally stumbled through the door at 2 a.m., her dress wrinkled, lipstick smudged, the air around her thick with unfamiliar perfume, I froze. She swayed, giggling to herself, unaware of Noah standing in his doorway, his pajamas too big for his frame. "Dad," he whispered, "is Mom sick? Why is she so strange?" His voice cracked something in me, a dam I'd built to hold back the fear. I couldn't answer. I just pulled him close, his head against my chest, and buried my face in his hair, swallowing the tears that burned my eyes. Go back to bed, buddy, I managed. I'll take care of it. But as I led him to his room, Chloe's laughter echoed behind me, careless, like a stranger's. I needed the truth, not for revenge, but to shield my boys from a storm they couldn't see. The next day, while they were at school, I installed message recovery software on our shared cloud, my hands shaking as I typed. What I found hit me like a fist. Text between Chloe and her friend Riley, words sharp as broken glass. I'll suggest an open relationship, Chloe wrote. Jared's hot as hell. Ethan's the type to fall for it. Riley, go for it. You deserve to live a little. I stared at the screen, my pulse a drum in my ears. Jared, her coworker. The name burned, but worse was the betrayal, casual and cruel, like I was a pawn in a game I didn't know we were playing. I wanted to smash the laptop, to scream, to tear the walls down. But Miles and Noah were in the next room, laughing over a puzzle, believing their world was whole. I couldn't break it. Not yet. Monday morning, with the boys at their grandparents' for pre-Christmas, Chloe sat across from me at the kitchen table, her smile sweet as venom. The air smelled of her coffee and the lavender candles she loved. Ethan, she said, her voice practiced. I think we should try an open relationship. It's modern. Lots of couples do it. Her eyes flickered, testing me. I'd hidden a recorder in my pocket, its weight a small anchor. My heart wasn't soft anymore. It was stone. Tell me, Chloe, I said, my voice low. Who are you sleeping with? She laughed, a nervous trill. What? Don't be paranoid. I leaned forward, my hands steady despite the storm inside. Lie again, and this marriage is over right now. Her smile faltered. The silence stretched, heavy as the rain outside. Then, like a dam breaking, she confessed. 2 men, both married with kids. She wanted more, with Jared, her new coworker, a man she described with a hunger that made my skin crawl. She even suggested setting me up with her friend to balance things out, as if our vows were a ledger to be squared. I laughed, a hollow sound that echoed in my chest. I don't need someone new, I said. I needed honesty. And you just killed it. Her face twisted, but I didn't wait for her excuses. I stood, grabbed my wallet and keys, and looked at the woman I'd loved for half my life. You're free now, I said, and I'm starting to clean up the corpse of this marriage. As I walked out, the rain hit my face, cold and sharp, but I didn't feel it. What burned was the clarity, a terrifying, razor-edged focus. This wasn't just a divorce. It was a war, not only for custody but for my dignity, for my boy's future, against a woman I no longer recognized. I rented a burner phone, claiming it was for work, and installed tracking software on Chloe's devices, not to hurt her, but to arm myself if things turned ugly. Texts, calls, locations, apps, I had it all. She didn't suspect. That was her first mistake. 3 days later, I found her messages with Jared, planning a meetup at a cheap hotel south of Seattle. Their words were a knife. Ethan probably still thinks he's the perfect husband, Chloe wrote. Let him, Jared replied. I need a few weeks to sort out finances. Finances? I checked our bank records. She'd withdrawn $7,800 in 2 months, mostly cash, no explanation. She wasn't just cheating, she was plotting to bury me. That night, I zoomed with Miles and Noah, their faces glowing on the screen. Dad, is Mom gone? Noah asked, his voice small. I forced a smile. She's working, buddy. I'm always here. Miles stared, his eyes too knowing for 10. I wrote a letter that night, locked it in the safe for them. I fought for truth, not revenge, so no one could twist you with lies. The next morning, an anonymous envelope arrived. Photos of Chloe and Jared kissing in a car outside a bar, his hand on her thigh. A scrawled note read, She's not the only one watched. You deserve a warning. Who sent it? A betrayed spouse? A double dealer? It didn't matter. I wasn't alone, and Chloe's grip was slipping. That night, she came home in a dress too tight to be hers, her eyes glassy with liquor, a man's cologne, not Jared's, clinging to her wrist. I sat at the table, my laptop open to a video call with the best family lawyer my friend Bob had hired. What are you doing? Chloe asked, her voice sharp. I turned, calm as death. Preparing for the future. Have you told the kids about your 3 men in 5 weeks? She froze, her mask cracking. You're controlling, she spat, recovering. Typical man. I met her eyes, ice in my veins. No, I'm collecting your confession. I backed up all evidence on 3 USBs. One in the safe, one with the lawyer, one with Mike, my college friend, an ex-Marine who'd once said, "If your wife becomes the enemy, I'll help you survive." I called him. He was on his way. Mike arrived Saturday, his presence solid as oak. We hugged, no words needed, like soldiers before battle. Bob, always in a suit, and Wallace, a lawyer with eyes like steel, joined us. Mike mapped Chloe's movements, hotels, bars, Jared's place, a clinic for vitamins, code for drugs. Bob showed her secret transfers from our account. Money to friends, crypto, untraceable. She's not just cheating, Bob said. She's prepping a financial war. Wallace's voice was a blade. No weakness. She's the enemy now. I nodded. I had no choice. That night, Chloe stumbled in, her dress torn, a bite mark red on her neck, reeking of cheap whiskey. I sat with Miles and Noah, their game controllers clicking. "Noah, want brownies?" I asked, my voice steady. My stare told her, game over. Sunday, I took the boys to the park, their laughter a lifeline, then signed divorce and custody papers with Wallace. "We'll serve her in 48 hours, she said. "We're ready for anything." That night, I caught Chloe texting Riley. "I'll ruin him. He thinks he's the victim." "Riley, say he's abusive. No one trusts men." My rage was cold, a coiled snake. Monday, Chloe found the divorce papers, her face twisting from shock to fury. "You're joking," she screamed. I played Riley's recording. "Say he's abusive." She paled. "You spied." I smiled, thin as a blade. I collected lies. She fled to her friends, but I was past caring. The next day, she faced court. Chloe arrived, eyes puffy, playing victim. Wallace presented recordings, GPS logs, photos, proof I'd raised the boys alone. I told the judge, I want fairness for my sons. She's a threat, not because she's a woman, but because she's no mother. Ruling, Chloe banned from the kids for 30 days, accounts frozen, me with full custody. She texted, "You're killing me." Then, "If I have nothing, neither will you." I called Mike for cameras, trackers, new locks. Friday, he warned, "Check Twitter." Chloe posted, accusing me of abuse, our wedding photo twisted into a lie. Her friends cheered, "Expose him." Midnight, she stood outside with Jared, blasting a speaker. "I'm Chloe, banned from my kids." Jared live-streamed. I recorded, called the cops. They cited the restraining order. Chloe screamed, Jared whined, but they left. I watched, silent, behind the curtain. Strangers, my unseen allies, flooded Jared's accounts, exposing Chloe. An anonymous co-worker sent a recording, Chloe fired for drugs at a conference. "I'll testify for the kids," they said. Noah asked, "Will Mom yell again?" I knelt. "No, buddy. The door's locked." Tuesday, cops investigated an anonymous abuse claim against me. I showed videos, witnesses, proof of my innocence. They left. Wallace showed a forum post, Chloe claiming I beat her, no evidence. We had her clean medical records. Jared posed as a reporter, digging dirt. I hired PR to clear my name, sued for defamation. At the next hearing, Wallace played Chloe laughing. One hashtag, and he's done. Chloe stammered, "A joke." The judge wasn't fooled. New ruling. Chloe banned from using my name. Restrained further. No custody until psych eval. Chloe vanished. No posts. No Jared. No job. Wallace found she'd been fired years ago for drugs. Hushed up. April, her old friend, shared Chloe's past. She saw men as stepping stones, marriage as a game. April gave texts, photos. Chloe passed out in a club, high. I forced myself to look for the truth. Chloe skipped her eval, posting a tearful TikTok. "I'm betrayed." No one cared. Comments burned. "You left your kids." I felt hollow, not victorious. Noah asked, "Is Mom still Mom?" I held him. "She's sick. If she wants to heal, she can." "Miles, what if she doesn't?" I whispered. "Then I'm enough." At 2 a.m., Chloe appeared, soaked, bruised, blood on her arm. "I have nowhere," she sobbed. "Jared's gone. My parents locked me out." I stared. "And the kids?" She cried. "I was wrong. I didn't move. You called them chains. Now they're your lifeline." She reached out. I stepped back. "Rehab. Therapy. Apologize to them, not me. Go." She collapsed. I shut the door. Morning, I made pancakes, the boys laughing at syrup dinosaurs. Mike nodded. You did right. I watched them, my heart steady. I didn't choose hardness. I chose survival. Weeks later, Chloe sent a rehab letter, begging to give the kids her apology. I locked it away. They'll read it when ready. Not now. We moved to Bellevue, quieter, safer. I left my job, started Nova Robotics, building drone sensors. It grew, a new beginning. Miles asked, do you love anyone? I teased, got a stepmom picked out. He grinned. Noah says you'll be lonely. I softened. If someone's safe for you, I'd try. At a conference, I met Elena, my college ex. Her smile, sharp, warm, stirred something. You're who I imagined, but changed, she said. I nodded. I lost a lot. She offered coffee, a door left open. That night, I looked at a photo of us camping. Miles with a fishing rod, Noah sketching a deer. I'd survived, not just endured. May, the final ruling. Full custody, Chloe stripped of rights, restrained 3 years. I exhaled free. That night, the boys slept on the couch, the Lego movie flickering. Noah mumbled, we're safe. I stroked his hair. Always. Chloe finished detox, but quit therapy. Her psych report cited manipulation, unfitness. I didn't respond. Forgiveness was silence, freedom from her ghost. June, Elena visited, bringing a bonsai. For patience, she teased. Miles asked, Dad's girlfriend. She laughed. Not yet, but he deserves a new start. That night, I stood on the porch, the rain a soft hum, no longer afraid. I'd survived. My boys grew in honest love, steady as my heartbeat. Chloe? A scar, there but painless. The end isn't victory. It's standing unbroken when the world tries to make you fall.